Hey everybody. First of all, you'll have to excuse the mess in the shop right now. I'm in the process of cleaning and I've got this little space here on camera that's kind of clean enough for a video, but then just off camera everything is just a mess and I'm working on it, but it's slowly but surely coming along. So this here is an old Lakewood box fan. It is, I believe, a model P-223 with interesting circumstances, which I'll get to in a minute. But this one, you may remember, I do have a Lakewood sort of like this. It's a slightly later model, P222, and it's a 2-speed only model. It's a rare version of this, actually. And that one was much later. That one's a 3rd-gen model. This one's a 2nd-gen model. And there are key characteristics that define the 2nd-gen and the 3rd-gen models. Now, first of all, the very first ones had like a much more squared off cabinet design. And then they switched to, this is the very first models that had this rounded curves like that. The blades, as you can see, are much wider. They're kind of shaped a little bit like the Lasco D blade from the 90s, although a little bit more squat and oblong. The 3rd-gen blade on my P223, which is over there behind the workbench, I didn't feel like getting it out because it's covered. It's got a bunch of desk fans stacked on top of it. But the blades on those are like a lot thinner, and they're shaped almost like an S or like a curve. It's really interesting. They're also a lot thinner, like the plastic itself is thinner in construction, which is a telltale sign that they were cheapening out by that stage. But this one's still pretty. The blades are still pretty thick on this one, thick plastic. The grill, this one's grill is in, like, both of the grills are in perfect shape. There no breaks on either side, which is really amazing considering, these things are usually found with at least some of the slats broken. But the difference between the 2nd-gen grill and the 3rd-gen grill, you can see how here this part is flat and it's raised up here where the slats start. On the 3rd-gen ones, this part is like, I don't really know how to describe it. It's kind of like contoured out, where there's like a it gets thicker. I don't know. That's the best way to describe it. So it's not like a step. It's like a smooth piece here instead. That's the best way I can describe it, really. Also, I'm missing one screw. It's somewhere around here. I had all of the screws on this part when I took it apart to clean it, and then one went missing. So it was complete, and now it's not, and that's my fault. So I'll find it. It'll turn up. But anyway, another thing is this one's a lot thicker than the 3rd-gen model. This one's about like 5.5 inches or so. The 3rd-gen model is about 4 inches thick. So yeah, that's pretty interesting. Now, another interesting thing is that strange circumstance I was telling you about. This one, you can see, has that hole right there on the side, but there's a little threaded piece there and all these scratches on the side. Now, and on the other side, it's like that too. Now that is because this one actually was used in it was originally in one of those like rollabout stands. Like this one right here that I have. This is my P237, the avocado green one. This one is slightly older, and that is because this one actually has, you can see this one's blades. They're kind of more trapezoidal shaped and like squared off at the edges, unlike this one. This is actually the 1st-gen style blade, which I just noticed recently that this one's blade is different. I don't know why this one uses the 1st-gen style of blade and the 2nd-gen style cabinet. That's a very interesting combination. So this one might be a transitional version. But you can see this is how it would have originally gone in the stand, if you remember from the video I did of this one. Yeah, it would have originally gone in that with these knobs to loosen and tighten it so you could pivot it up and could wheel it around anywhere. So yeah, but then the other thing is these also have feet on them. Like they're permanently riveted on there so that you can take it out of the stand and use it as an ordinary box fan, which the previous owners of this fan evidently did. Now, the only issue with that is there is no information anywhere on the bottom of it, which is kind of interesting. I don't know if maybe there was a sticker that got pulled off, or maybe it was on the stand itself, because I don't know. I don't even remember if this one has anything written on it. I don't think it does. But yeah, that's kind of weird. Now, if I take a look at the top here, this one's handle is intact, and it's still in good condition. And here's the switch, 3-speed switch. It doesn't say Lakewood on it. That's kind of weird. And the low, medium, high, and off are kind of arranged differently. On the other one that I have, the P-222, it goes low, medium, off, or sorry, high, low, off, like they're arranged in a line. Now, on most other P-223s I've seen, they're actually like that too. It goes low, medium, high, off. Like, they're arranged like just in a straight line at the bottom here. But this one has them going kind of around the button in like a radial pattern, which is definitely interesting. It's something I've never actually seen before. And then this one, of course, that's how they normally are, except they're arranged at the bottom there. Yeah, that's very interesting, and it's kind of like a sparkly, shiny badge, which is pretty cool. Now this one, the motor, this one's I think that's a McMillan motor, I'm pretty sure. There is a label in there on the motor, which says Lakewood Engineering Manufacturing Company, model A06068. I can't tell, I think that's a B. Well, that's the model number of the motor, A068B2000. And then, yeah, I can't see anything else. Oh, it's just the wiring diagram. Yeah, so that's the motor, and I did oil it when I got it. It was very dusty and dirty when I got it as well. I cleaned it. Yeah, so this back grill is much more yellowed than the front grill for some reason, which I'm okay with because that's just the back grill. But it also does not have any broken slats, which is, again, incredible somehow. So, now I've been talking for long enough, so let's go ahead and start this fan up. I guess we'll start it up first on low. Now it does start off pretty quiet on low speed, but once you turn it up to the higher speeds, those threaded pieces that snap into the holes for the stand, they start rattling. You can actually kind of hear it already. I was thinking about taking them out, but I just thought I'd leave them in for the sake of the video, just because it makes for easier explanation, I guess. So that's low speed, and low speed is pretty quiet. It's moving the air. Turn it up to medium, it's going to start to get loud. Another thing I like about these old Lakewoods is there's a huge difference between the speeds. You can really tell. Like, I mean, low is slow, medium is, you know, this, and then high is pretty fast. So we're getting a lot of air circulation. Now let's turn it up to high. Now you can really hear those threaded stud things rattling. I think the blade's a little bit off balance too. Great. Spin down from high. That's actually not bad. Alright, now I'm going to turn it around. Actually, first, yeah, we'll turn it around and we'll do 0 to high and see if I can get you a close-up of the startup noise it makes, because it does have a pretty cool startup noise. So here we go. Alright. Oh, hopefully you guys heard it before the rattling of those pieces started. But yeah, I don't know if there's anything else left to say about this one. It's a pretty cool fan. I definitely am happy to have one. I've been after one of these 3-speed Lakewood P-223s for a while now, even though I somehow found a super rare version first. But yeah, so thank you guys for watching, and as always, I will see you in the next video.